Hello and welcome to Metal Vice, the podcast where we talk about all things music.
Well, the things we care about.
Which is mainly live music and metal music. I'm one of your hosts, Brian, joined by my other host,
Karen.
And Karen, what is today's episode about?
This is talking about Hog Fest in Milwaukee.
Yeah, Hog Fest in Milwaukee. They did this last year for the first time and we went. I think it was the first time.
I think it was the first time last year, yeah.
Because based on what they were saying during the shows, like who was here last year? Who's here for the second time?
Yeah.
I feel like this is something they're going to try to do every year.
Yeah,
At least I hope they are.
It'd be really cool. We'll go as many times as we can.
Yep. Last year was Godsmack,
Asking Alexandria,
Wage War,
3 Days Grace.
And 3 Days Grace, was it really?
Yeah, and then there was one more band before them as well that we walked into.
Really? Was that many bands?
Yep.
I'm looking this. I just saw 3 Days Grace Asking Alexandria.
Yep, and then there was Wage War and another band before them.
Huh. I don't have them listed last year. Interesting. Okay. Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, because Wage War was the second band.
Oh, there was that first band. Yeah.
And then 3 Days Grace, and then Asking Alexandria, and then Godsmack.
Yeah. Okay. I do remember that now.
Yeah. So it was a lot longer last year.
It was.
This year.
This year it was Disturbed, Falling in Reverse, Beartooth, and Dorothy. However, Falling in Reverse dropped off a little bit before this happened.
Yeah. I think this was May 6th, May 4th.
The show was May 4th,
Yeah.
May the 4th, and we didn't talk about tickets. Tickets were $75 a ticket, with $27.13 in fees. Pretty much, that's a lot, like 1/3, 30% fees, a little over, and then $1.03 in tax. Awesome tax rate once again.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this was May the 4th, and I think we found out about Falling in Reverse dropping off 2 days before, 3 days before.
I was going to say like May 1st.
And the only reason we found out about that is we got an email for like ticket upgrades or like, here's what you need to know about Hog Fest going in and whatnot.
Yeah.
And the image they had only had Disturbed, Beartooth, and Dorothy on the image. And I was like, wait, I thought Falling in Reverse was there. And then we looked into it and like, no, they've canceled a lot of shows.
Like
recently.
I looked up their Instagram and they canceled 3 more shows because they canceled like May 2nd. I don't know where they were supposed to be. And then Hog Fest and then one in Minneapolis as well.
Which is a little disappointing. I haven't actually listened to much of their music, actually really any of their music.
Yeah, I've only heard a few songs and I don't necessarily care for it on Spotify, but I wanted to see it live because sometimes seeing it live gives a different vibe.
Yeah, and I've heard one song. I was walking somewhere and it came on. And I was like, what is this rap metal shit I'm listening to here? It's not horrible. It's interesting. What is this? And it's like, oh, it's Falling in Reverse. I was like, I'm going to see them.
Yeah.
I want to see what this is like live now. Same thing you were saying. Like, I want to see the performance. I want to see what's going on. I enjoyed the song I heard.
Oh, okay.
After, like, it took a little bit and I was like, all right, I can get into this. So I was super excited to see them, but yeah, they dropped off, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think the singer has laryngitis. I think that's the reason.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, so it's not like they just decided not to go.
Yeah. But I mean...
They can't sing.
Yeah, it sucks for sure. Because you're expecting 4 bands and now you get 3.
Yeah, and for the same price.
And you don't get a refund, right?
Yeah, and also Hog Fest never announced that I saw that they weren't going to be there. It was kind of like, here's your lineup, like maybe at least not in email form or anything to the Patreon. Like we even saw people the day of the show in Falling Reverse shirts. So it's like, was there any announcement at all?
And so Hog Fest is 102.9 The Hog in Minneapolis. Yeah, it's not Minneapolis, Milwaukee.
Milwaukee, yeah, it's their radio station.
Which is basically like their laser.
Yeah.
Like we grew up in Iowa, ours was laser, theirs is The Hog. Which there's not like Hog is like a pig, even though their logo is a pig, but I think Hog as in like motorcycles. Yeah. There's a Harley Davidson factory up there.
Well, I thought the Hog was it is a hog, like a pig, in like a leather jacket. So it's like...
I think they're playing on both.
They're playing
aspects.
Both. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see any announcements like you were saying via email or anything. I assume it was probably on the radio station.
Possibly.
Oh, unfortunately, we couldn't do that. But yeah, there were a lot of people
Yeah.
in Falling in Reverse shirts that maybe don't listen to the radio.
Or
and
like
didn't know
we don't
about it.
live there, so we don't
That's
listen
true.
to it.
Yeah, that's true
So.
too.
Which,
Milwaukee's a great place to drive into, right?
yeah.
Like
I wonder if you can get Milwaukee radio stations in Chicago.
I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, it's close. It would be like Des Moines, Iowa City.
Is it that close?
I think mileage wise, yeah.
Huh, interesting. But we did bring up that this is like their laser station. Laser used to do Laser Fest, which was a similar thing back in the day. Also, just looked up because we mentioned this when we were there. It's like, I bet it's the same sort of programming Laser has.
Well, we actually said that when we were in Minneapolis.
Did we?
Yeah, because theirs is like XQR or something. I don't know. That's probably wrong. Sorry, anybody that lives in Minneapolis. But we talked about like, that we thought that the backing music that they were playing during the Minneapolis show was the radio station music, because between 3 Days Grace and Shinedown, the radio station came out and like
I forgot
did
about
an announcement
that. Yeah.
or did a thing or whatever. And that's when we said, I bet it's same as Laser. And then you're like, I would expect them to be owned by the same people too.
I mean, but I just looked this up. Laser and the Hog are owned by the same.
Yeah, it makes
company.
sense. How they do things is kind of similar as well. Like,
yep, it definitely felt like a similar vibe as you were saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, we went back to Milwaukee to see this.
Yep.
Like I said, we were there last year.
Yep.
Same location, the Fiserv Forum.
Fiserv.
I keep calling it the Festive Forum, and I don't know why.
Yeah, the Fiserv Forum.
Fiserv Forum, where the Bucks play.
Yep.
Really, really cool place. We tried to do a vlog for this one as well. It might be kind of shitty. So.
This one might be it'll be short.
Yeah.
But this one might be a little bit better because we weren't driving. Where I think the main issue was with Minneapolis is the driving portion. Which, if we turn the footage we have into vlogs, they may get posted next month.
Yeah. Or sometime.
Yeah.
Whenever.
We're just really busy this month, so.
Yeah. They'll get posted when they get posted, if ever.
Yeah. Yeah. We might just use it as practice and then actually post one later.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, short trip. We took the Amtrak up. We haven't done that in a long time.
No, I think 2021 was the last time that we did it. Or 2020. I think 2020. September 2020 was the last time we took
the Amtrak
up. Yeah.
I don't mind that, honestly.
No, I think I prefer it.
Because you're not driving.
The only thing I don't prefer is once you're there is you don't have your car.
Yeah.
So there's a radio station. Oh my gosh. There's a record store we like to go to that's
Bullseye.
Yeah, it's Bullseye Records, and it's quite a ways
from downtown.
From where because we try to stay at Hilton City Center.
Yeah, we have, but that's like getting very pricey.
It is getting pricey, but
there's other Hiltons down there that we do try to stay at.
Yeah, but this Bullseye Records is an hour walk, I think, from that place.
Is it really?
It is. We've done it a couple times, and we've done it both ways where we Uber one way and then walk back, or we walk both ways, but we kind of stop at places in between.
Like I remember doing it one time where we walked back, and then we happened to par in this park that was doing like a beer in the park type thing.
Yeah, that was in September 2020 as well.
So we stopped there and hung out for a little while, had a few beers, and then finished our ride or our trip back to the hotel. Yeah,
and I think that's the best way to do it is because I mean otherwise you're walking 2 hours straight.
Yeah. See, I didn't know it was that long.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like it was that long when we walked.
It is because it's quite a ways. Yeah.
All right.
So that's why when we Uber one way and then walk back, it's a little bit better.
Yeah.
But maybe there's a shorter way to come back because we always walk like towards the lake and then back up.
Maybe you do, yeah.
Where I'm wondering if kind of like how we drove that one time, like if you use those back streets, if that's a little bit quicker. And there's more restaurants on those back streets, so we should check that out sometime.
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely try out different routes, try out different restaurants. I mean, I love Milwaukee. Milwaukee's so much fun. It's cheaper than Chicago too, which is nice. There's a few breweries we always go to, which is I love going to those breweries.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we couldn't do that this time.
We couldn't. No.
We got there Wednesday night later.
Yep.
We took the 5:00 train, but it got delayed.
There was issues with a different train on the track.
With Metro. Yeah. And then by the time we got some dinner and stuff, it was 10:00.
Yeah.
And then we got up and worked all day.
And then went straight to the concert. This wasn't just like a vacation. This was go up, work, because this was a Thursday night that the concert
The-
was.
yeah, yeah.
So it was like, all right, we're gonna work from the hotel all day Thursday. That way we're there because at the time we thought the concert started at like 5.
I thought it was 5. Yeah, because and doors were at 4.
Yeah.
Or doors were at 5 and concert was at 6. Which, coming from Chicago, if you drive, you would have to leave at like 2.
Yeah, right, just to make that because of traffic and whatnot. And if taking the train, apparently there's delays that could happen too, and we didn't want to miss anything.
Yeah,
so.
and I think the trains were either 1 or 5, if I remember right.
Oh, okay.
So it's like either you take a half day from work, or you stay an extra day and work the whole day. I mean, for us, we were able to do that. So
yeah, and in that Hilton you mentioned, like I love that hotel.
yeah,
I stayed there for school once, and then I went back for a Magic tournament, and Magic the Gathering tournament, and stayed at that same hotel because it's right across the street from the convention center, and there's like a little hamster tube that people can walk through there. And as soon as I was there, I was like, this looks really familiar. And it's like, oh shit, I have stayed here. But it's so ornate, like the brass handles and everything going up. They have like brass pineapples as like the side pieces. And it's so worn down, like from where people grab it and hold it on. I love that. The character of this place is so cool.
I like the hotel too. It's really cool.
It's because it's so close to the convention center. It does fill up super quick when
And
there's
it's
a conference,
expensive.
and it gets expensive.
Yeah.
We stayed there last year in 2022 when we went to go see Avatar at the Rave, and at the same time there was a My Little Pony convention going on, which was probably outside the Magic the Gathering tournament, my favorite convention going on there. This time there was a flooring convention going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we left some sort of like grandma quartet convention.
Yeah.
Or something. There were so many grandmas. Like, I don't know what was going on.
Yeah, it was interesting, and they were color coded. That's why I don't understand. Like, it was like purple, pink, and red. I don't know what it was, but
yeah. But I mean, this hotel is great also because it's right across the street from the convention center, but 2 blocks up from that convention center is the Festive Forum.
Fiserv
Forum.
Yeah, so it's super close.
Super close.
And we
super
stayed
easy
here
to get to.
in the middle of winter where we walked without coats. It's not the best, but
What show was that? Oh, Disturbed. We went up there to see
yeah.
Disturbed.
Yeah.
And we kind of did the same thing where we took the hamster tunnels to the convention center.
To the
and
Hyatt.
then that went across over to the Hyatt, which was 1 block closer.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, then it was a short trip outside.
Yeah. Yeah. Which, I mean, still sucks when it's really, really cold, but it can be done.
Yeah, it can be done. So that's awesome. And you know, the venue, it's an arena. You've been to one arena, you've been to them all, basically. Drinks though here are fucking expensive.
They are.
I do remember that. Like Milwaukee is cheap. Like you go to one of those breweries, and I think we went in, had dinner, had too many drinks, and walked out paying like $40 or something like that. And like, how the fuck is this possible?
Yeah.
But then again, it is like a brewery, so their beers are cheaper anyway because they make them in house. And all that. But still, it was like, this city is fucking cheap. But you go to this arena, you're paying $20 or so for a beer.
Yeah.
It
was
maybe a
expensive.
little less, but
I
still.
I was surprised how expensive the arena was, but I mean it's an arena. They charge those prices. Everywhere charges those prices. So
Yep. So anyway, getting into the music, we're on floor. I can't remember. This year the floor was split. The back half of the floor was seats. The front half was GA.
Like foldable chairs.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And I can't remember last year. I don't think it was that way last year. I think the entire floor last year was GA, but I can't honestly remember.
Yeah, I don't remember either. I'm thinking it was all GA, but I honestly can't remember either.
See, the first time I remember seeing a setup like that was Megadeth, Lamb of God, and Trivium.
Yeah, you said that. I don't remember
at,
that setup at
Peoria.
Yeah, I don't remember that setup, but
I don't know. It's kind of a weird setup, I think, but whatever. But yeah, we had GA. We were on stage left, and that's our like normal go-to side of the stage typically, right?
yeah. Well, the year before that, we were on the other side.
We were, yeah.
There was like a little pocket where we were
like right on the rail,
1 or 2 rows from the rail. Yeah, like the whole time.
Sorry, not the rail. The side rail, not like the rail, but like the side guard rail between like there's a little walkway between the seats and the GA floor where they have.
Oh,
like
okay. I think I'm getting Megadeth and Lamb of God
yes.
mixed up, where we were like in that little corner pocket, and we were like one row behind the rail.
We were on the same side of the stage.
Yeah.
But last year for Hog Fest, we were on stage right, but we were sort of hanging back on that barrier
Yeah,
wall.
I remember that now. Yeah, I was getting confused on the concert that we went to.
But still good view last year. Good view all this year too.
This year
Everywhere we went, we bounced around a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, the first band was Dorothy, so we got our spot and we were ready for Dorothy to come on. Do
you know who Dorothy was?
I didn't know.
No. Okay.
Except for the first song they came out to, which was Down to the Bottom. Played 9 songs. At least they don't have the setlist. Setlist FM doesn't have Hog Fest up there. I got this from a couple nights later at the XL Energy Center in St. Paul, Minneapolis, actually. Which was the intro song where the band just comes out and is sort of like jamming and having fun. The bass, the guitar, and the drummer. And then you come in with the singer. She comes out and then starts with Down to the Bottom, followed by Hurricane, What's Coming to Me, Whiskey Fever, Black Sheep, Flawless, Rest in Peace, and they finished with Gifts from the Holy Ghosts.
I think that's right. I think that's
what I remember.
The right,
too.
Yeah.
Definitely Down on the Bottom. So
yeah,
band comes out, starts playing, and it's got this old school rocky sound to it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I like this. This is good. The bass was picking up really well. I could hear the bass.
I liked that. I didn't care for the set very much, but I did like that the bass. You could hear the bass, and he played well.
The bass was strong, and he was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And then the guitar was just as good. Like,
yeah.
And the drummer was good. Like, the three of them mixing together were like, holy shit, this is fucking awesome. I was a big fan of the bass as well. He was on our side also.
Yeah.
But like it picked up well, and what he was playing, I really liked.
Yeah.
So they're there playing out by themselves, and I've noticed this more and more lately. I haven't really noticed this in the past, but lead singers don't necessarily come out right away. Once their spot picks up, then they'll come running out on the stage and start singing.
Yeah.
But sometimes they're there, like Randy with Memento Mori. Like, the song just picks up right away. It's like, wake up, and then boom, it drops, and he's fucking there jumping and singing with the band and everything. So, like, there's that approach to doing this, and then there's the one like Dorothy did where the band goes out, they play their little bits, and then it's my turn to sing. I got to run out. So while they were playing, I did notice her off to the side of the stage.
Yeah, because she was on the side that we were on.
Yeah, and dancing around, having a good time, waiting for her part to come out. When I saw her, though, the first thing I thought was like, she's wearing corpse paint. What the fuck is going on here? Like, this is not the music to wear corpse paint to. And then I noticed she was wearing like a leopard leotard. And I was like, I'm so fucking lost on what's happening here. Why, like, how do you mix corpse paint with leopard leotards and with this music? I'm so fucking confused on what's going on. And then she comes running out, and it's like, oh, those were just like aviator glasses. But from the back, like the way her eyes were covered, I just thought it was like all black makeup on her eyes. I was like, what the fuck is happening? I was so excited.
So your brain was like going all over the place.
I was so excited for that. Like, those don't mix.
That's
or maybe
funny.
they do, and I just
That's
don't
funny.
know about it yet.
Yeah.
So I was super excited. And then when she came out, I was like, oh, all right. It makes sense now. Yep. All right. I was dumb for a second.
So right when she first came out, something that distracted me was I think this person's on Real Housewives of Orange County, but Brandy Glanville.
I have no clue who that is.
I know you don't, but she looks like they look alike.
Oh, do
and
they?
that was bugging me a lot because I don't like this Brandy character on Real Housewives. So I'm like the whole night I'm just like, she looks really like the cheekbones, everything kind of looked the same because we were pretty close to the stage, so we could see the actual person. And I'm just like, that was bugging me. But and then the leopard leotard thing, not bugged me, but it just kind of like what you were saying. Like I was just like, what is this?
It definitely fits for that rocky kind of
It does.
vibe that it goes
I
with.
didn't know what the music was, so when she was stretching and like bouncing around, like what you were saying, like where we could see her, I was just like, "What is this?"
Yeah.
But
It definitely had like a 70s, 80s rock vibe
yeah,
to it.
yeah,
For sure.
definitely not something I'm into that much.
You asked if I knew them, and I was like, no, I had no clue. But Down to the Bottom, I've heard that song a lot.
Oh,
and I
really?
do enjoy that song quite
Is
a
that
bit.
their song or is
I
it?
think so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So no, yeah. I mean, I really enjoyed that song, and then they came out the Hurricane after that. Like the next
Yeah.
song was Hurricane, and I enjoyed that song as well too. I was like, all right, I'm really getting into this. I like this. I like this feel. I like this music. This is good. Definitely not metal, but it's like they got that hard rock sound. You know, like I said, from the 70s, 80s. This is awesome. But then I kind of got over it a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah,
It went on a little too long, or the set sort of died out for me at that
Oh,
point, or
okay.
it just kind of
Yeah.
got boring or very repetitive.
Repetitive. Yeah, I was gonna say repetitive because I even think from either Hurricane and What's Coming to Me or Down to the Bottom and Hurricane. I can't remember, but they both start with like almost the same lyrics, and I was just like, I think I even looked at you like, really?
Oh yeah, you did like another love song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which okay,
I think
cool,
that's What's Coming to Me.
but
That's where it was. Yeah.
it's almost like a cliche thing where like women write about love songs, blah 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 blah, blah or sing about love songs. But there is Black Sheep. I enjoyed that song. And then there was another song that had like kind of a metally sound to it. I don't know what the song is, but that one I could really get into. But that only lasted for when the guitar and basses were playing, and then it goes into her singing, and it like goes back to the rock sound. And it's like this song could have been a little bit better in my opinion. This is my opinion. If you would have kept that metal sound
Yeah.
or like the like the quick tempo and everything going, and not went back to the 80s rock song.
The guitar solos were awesome. The bass solos, the drums, like everything musically, I thought was great.
Yeah.
Lyrically, I do feel it got
Yeah.
repetitive, and
Yeah.
I kind of got over it pretty
Yeah.
quick.
I mean,
it started strong, and
yeah.
I really enjoyed it. But then toward the middle of the set, I was like, bring back more of what you had at the beginning, please.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people were into this. A lot of people
Yeah.
knew the words, and maybe like if we listened to the radio, then we would know more, and we just don't listen to Dorothy. I could see how if I listened to it, I could really probably get into the lyrics and get into the songs as well if I listened to it more. Now, getting this into my rotation
It's going to be hard.
it's going to be hard because normally I don't want this pace of music. I want something faster and harder. But when I went to the restroom after Dorothy, there was some women in there, and they're like, my throat hurts so bad from singing. And I was just like, yeah, like I've been to concerts where afterwards I'm like, man, I need some water. I need something. Like my throat is very dry, and I've been singing way too much. So I could probably be one of those people if I knew the songs and got into the rotation. But Black Sheep, I remember Black Sheep, and I really like that song. So that could be one that I could kind of start, like how with bands you kind of have like a gateway or one song that you start with and then you just listen to other songs.
Yeah.
I could potentially do that.
Gifts from the Holy Ghost, I thought was a weird song to end on because I wanted something more upbeat, a little faster, and it didn't go as fast to me.
Yeah.
I feel like Down to the Bottom would have been a better closing song.
Yeah.
But that's also probably like their big song right now, so it's like let's get the audience into it right at the beginning. That's one thing I would switch is I would probably put Down to the Bottom at the end because I love that song, and that would have then I think start with Hurricane, then do Down to the Bottom at the end. I would have been, holy shit, I know this song. I forgot all about. Oh wow, this is who this is.
Yeah, instead of being like,
and then
okay,
I would have
this
left
needs
on
to
a
end.
high note.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. Yeah.
But I also in the middle of it was thinking, I do really enjoy the music. Don't get me wrong, it's really good. I do enjoy it, even though it's a little repetitive. I can see myself getting into this more than you. I'm definitely a bigger fan of that 80s,
Oh yeah, 100%.
70s rock shit, right? But I also thought like we saw Aaron Jones last year, and I liked his set a lot better. I liked his music a lot better than this. I don't know why that is.
Yeah.
Like, they both have very similar vibes to them, very similar sounds to them, but I enjoyed his set better. At least maybe that's what it is. Like his set seemed like it had more energy when he was playing. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. I think that they had a lot of energy.
Yeah, and that's why I said,
Yeah.
that's why I don't really want to say that, because they did have a lot of energy. They did play really well. She was bouncing back and forth,
Yeah.
dancing with everybody.
The band for, I mean, her band was really good too, but the band for Aaron Jones, I think, stole this show for me.
Okay.
I really liked Aaron Jones as well, his music and everything, his singing and everything. But like, he had that guitar player who was like bouncing on one leg, and like, I mean, he was all over the place. So that kind of kept me entertained. Where this was like, they did the same thing. I mean, they were just like playing.
I did feel like Aaron Jones was a little harder too.
Yeah.
Like maybe that's what it is. Really, is not the energy, not the sound, but it's their music was just a little bit harder.
Yeah. Yeah. So it keeps your attention just a little bit more.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see you listening to Dorothy like if you're in one of those moods where you
this
just
is
want
definitely something I'll put on for sure.
Yeah.
Like I said, not trying to talk down this performance at all. I really did enjoy this performance.
Yeah.
It just in the middle of it, I was like, I'm done. I'm over this now. Get me something harder.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I'm definitely in one of those moods where it's, all right, I'll do this.
I didn't realize that they played 8 songs, 9 with the guitar intro. Yeah.
Yeah, they played quite a bit. And maybe that's because Following Reverse dropped
Maybe.
off. So they got, well, no, because this is from 2 nights later. But maybe that was Following Reverse also.
They were supposed to be there too. So, yeah. So maybe they all got a little bit extra time.
A little bit extra.
Yeah.
So, I mean, good set, good time. I enjoyed it. So definitely something I'll be checking out again for sure.
Yeah. I maybe will. I don't know. I should try.
But as you said, they all played a little bit longer. The next band up, Beartooth, had 13 fucking songs that they played.
That could be almost a headlining.
Yeah, headliners are right around 16 or so.
Yeah.
Just skipping ahead real quick to look. Disturbed, 17. So yeah, that's very close to headlining. And they did play a long ass time. I remember that.
Which was good. I really enjoyed Beartooth's set.
So the radio personalities came out before Beartooth. Well, they came out before Dorothy, did a little thing, before Beartooth, and also before Disturbed.
Yeah.
But before Beartooth, they came out, and they're like, if you were here for the VIP thing earlier, you know they played an acoustic set. They're ready to turn this up to 11. Get ready. Beartooth's going to rip your face off, or whatever the fuck they said. And I forgot about that. And that's one thing that was kind of cool about this show, is they had a number of VIP packages you can get. One of them, I don't think all of them got this. I think you had to buy different VIP packages, but one of them was that acoustic set by Beartooth, which would have been amazing to see. That would have been really cool to see. I can't remember what prices were. I wasn't interested necessarily into that one just because I didn't know Beartooth going into this. I was interested in the Mike experience from Disturbed, where he was doing like a beer tasting before the show, and I was like, that would be a blast to go do, like just a beer tasting in general. And now with the drummer from Disturbed, like, fuck yeah, let's go have some fun. So I did look at that. I can't remember what the price was, but it was like I was really close to doing it. And you don't drink, so it's like if you go to it, now I'm just gonna get plastered drinking your beers also.
Yeah. Or it's just a lot of money for me to throw away beer.
Throw it away down my throat. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're also sort of on the fence of doing VIP stuff anyway. Like, we've talked about that a lot, but yeah, we're definitely not social people with new people.
No.
Especially famous people.
Play good.
Yes. What do you say? All that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something that maybe someday we'll get over, that like anxiety and fear.
Yeah.
But
I think we just need to do one, and then I think I'll be better.
And we said this too. They're normal people.
They are. Yeah.
Like, they're not gods or anything. They put their pants on one leg at a time and all that shit, right? Like,
like even a coworker of mine, her daughter went to the same school as Dan's daughter.
Oh, really?
So like he was at an event that they were at.
Oh,
and
shit.
I'm just like,
yeah,
they are normal people. Like they have to do normal things.
Right. Yeah.
So,
I don't know. Someday we'll get over that fear.
Yeah.
And realize that, even though we say it now.
I think seeing like Mike or I think seeing somebody, like if it was David, I think I'd probably just like cry or something. Yeah. Where if it's like one of the other band members, it would just be like,
Because David's your favorite.
Yeah, and like I mean, it's just I don't want to go into it.
All right, no, that's fine.
I mean, I think it would be the same like if you saw. I almost said Lars, which Lars would be almost the same, but like if you saw James, like
I think it'd be the same for all of them for me. Really.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'd act the same, or I'd try to. I'd just be as nervous for all of them.
Yeah. I mean, what I'm saying is, I don't think I would have like an emotional aspect if I saw.
Not as strong an emotional.
Yeah.
Aspect.
That's a good way to
because
say
the
it.
lyrics themselves
Play big
touch
into it.
Deeper to you.
Yes. Thank you for using my word, or
for making your words work.
Providing me words to say that I did not say.
Yeah.
Anyways.
And that's where like, yeah, it really depends on what you're into, and I know you're. When we've talked about this too in the past, you're really big on lyrics more than I am. I'm more of like the music behind it, and then the lyrics to me are eventually I'll pick up on the lyrics and get into the lyrics. Yeah. But to me, it's the music more than it is the lyrics.
Yeah.
Which is weird. I don't know why, but that's just how I like my approach to it versus yours, I guess.
Yeah. But I think you started talking about this with Beartooth's acoustic set. Like, I think that would have been really cool to see, like, especially if you're, like, a huge fan
of
Beartooth. Like, you basically get 2 concerts then. You get an acoustic set and you get their set with the show. So, I mean, I think that would be really cool to be able to see both. And it would be, like, kind of private. I mean...
Yeah, there's probably a very small number of people who did this.
Yeah.
So it's, like, a very intimate show.
Yeah.
Maybe, like, 30, 50 people at most.
Yeah. I was going to say 50 or 100. I don't know how many they would do for a...
I don't
acoustic
know.
set. I mean, unless it's meet and greet on top of that, then they have to keep it really small because, I mean, think about meet and greets. Like, you have to be able to get through that line of people before your set starts. So
I mean, when I did see the acoustic set by Beartooth, I was very interested in doing it, even though we hadn't seen the band. I was like, this would be really cool to do.
Yeah,
and maybe it was the meet and greet. I can't, like I said, I don't remember the details of the package, but maybe it was the meet and greet that's like. Nah, I'm good. If I could only do the acoustic set on top of it, then yes. But also like it's extra money and whatnot that
right.
I would probably rather spend the money on a different show than spending like maybe I can't remember what it was, like maybe $100 or something.
Oh, that's not that bad though.
It's not that bad, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't remember the details of the package. I do remember though that was one of the packages, and I like that bands are doing these more unique packages and whatnot.
Yeah.
Wagewar, which we saw after this show, did like a game, like an interactive game with the band, which would have been a lot of fun.
Yeah. Like Lamb of God last year did like guitar lessons.
They've been doing
something.
that for a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, that would be really cool to do. I don't think I would do the guitar lesson. I would just be like, hi, shake your hand, and then be like, can I have my guitar, please?
Yeah, so like they've done that a couple of times now we've seen. I think Disturbed did it one time as well.
Yeah. During their Evolution tour, they did guitars.
Yeah. But Lamb of God's package was like $1,600.
Oh, I thought it was $700.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, my bad. Yeah. It was like $700 to $1,200. I can't remember what one.
Yeah.
But you're basically you get a stage used guitar and a meet and greet, and we looked up those guitars on like Guitar Center, and it was basically
the price of
the guitar.
Yeah.
So you're basically buying a guitar.
Yeah.
But then it's cool because it's like a stage used. So like, and you get a free meet and greet with that. Like that seems.
And to get to see a concert.
And if you're in the market to buy that guitar,
go
see the show and do that shit. Like,
exactly.
I don't know. That's a cool deal too.
Yeah.
But getting back to this show.
Oh, anyways, yeah.
Beartooth. You want to go ahead and read off their set list?
Why are there words that you don't want to say?
There's probably a lot of words I'd fuck up.
So I start with Devastation, Disease, Body Bag, Sunshine, The Lines, Beaten in Lips, Bad Listener, In Between, You Never Know, Hated, Riptide, The Past is Dead, and ended with The Last Riff.
The Last Riff was where they just came out and they did a riff.
Yeah, and like he jumped around and shit. Yeah.
And the lead singer came out with the guitar this time.
Yep.
Do you think it was plugged in? Do you think he was playing it?
No.
I don't think he was either. Yeah, I don't think so.
Was. Yeah.
Just like jumping around. Maybe he was and it was just turned down really low. Like I took it more as like when you have like a little kid that you're with, like a nephew or a cousin or something that you're playing video games with, and you're like,
Here's
you
a
unplug,
guitar.
yeah,
Or
you're
not
playing
guitar.
video games, like,
Controller.
you unplug their controller, and it's like, no, see, you're the other car here. Friends used to do that to me all the time because I sucked at driving games. I wanted to play. They're like, here's this one. No, you're the red car. No, trust me, you meant to do that. You meant to crash into that wall. And I was like, oh, okay. And you're just happy to have the controller.
Yeah.
So I thought about that too. Like, that's all they did to him. It's like, here you go, have a guitar, have fun. But maybe not. Maybe it was.
We could be
on.
wrong. Yeah. No, I didn't think he was playing.
But that made me laugh.
Yeah.
I mean, I bet he was playing, but I don't know.
I don't know either.
But he did run to like through the crowd to the back of the crowd and like jumped on the soundstage. Yeah, that was a fun little bit. You really enjoyed this.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed them a lot, and I've heard some Beartooth, but it's not something that I've went to listen to or like sought out to listen to. But I enjoyed it. I mean, I enjoyed every single song. I enjoyed every single moment. It was a blast.
They put on a great show. They had a lot of energy, a lot of fun. I was meh on it. I wasn't super big on their stuff. I don't know why. Exactly. They've been around for a bit too.
Oh yeah.
You think we saw them at an open air?
I think that they were at an open area. Yeah. I don't know which one, but
and not necessarily that we saw them.
Yeah.
We may have missed their set or something. I'll see them again. Don't get me wrong. It's not music I'm gonna seek out. I added them to our playlist just like Dorothy. So when they come on, I'm probably not skipping them. I'll probably listen to it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There was something to it that I was just like, I'm not really into this.
Oh.
And I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
But the crowd was really into this too. The crowd fucking loved this.
Yeah. I was kind of disappointed. I mean, we'll get to Disturb, but I was disappointed in the crowd level. Like, it seemed like a lot of people were there to see Beartooth.
Yeah.
And the energy for Beartooth was so high, and then you get to Disturbed, and it was just like everybody's just watching the show.
There was a really good pit going on.
There was a huge pit
for this.
Yeah.
I know we were around a couple people, and the women were like telling their boyfriends like, "Get in the pit. You should get in the pit." And he's like, "No, I'm not. No, I'm not." And eventually she's like, "All right, fine, hold my drink." And then it was a circle pit going on. So she gets in, runs in the circle, comes back, and she was so excited, so happy that she did that.
Yeah. I think I could do that type of pit. I mean, again, where were we when we saw a pit that was like very kind? Gosh, I can't even think about it. But I think it was when we went to see Pop Evil.
Was it?
Not for Pop Evil, but like the band that was before Pop Evil.
You were talking about that, yeah.
But like where they're just so kind, where they're not like bouncing into the crowd and stuff. It's just the people who are inside the pit, they're moshing, not pitting. They're moshing with those people, and they're not doing the whole thing like what happened at Denver Metal Fest, where like people were out for blood and like hitting anybody that was near them. And this was another one of those very kind pits where like it was the people that were inside that they were, circling with and not really, running into everybody else, which I like both ways.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I don't mind the whole running into the people in the crowd. I don't like the Denver Metal Fest where the one guy was like arms swinging. Yeah. I'm gonna hit everybody who's around me.
There's definitely like different styles of moshing, and there's that style for like the death metal stuff where it is like you're throwing punches in the pit.
Yes.
Versus I'm
gonna bounce into you.
Like a Lamb of God show where when you're pitting it or you're moshing. I said that too.
Pitting.
When you're moshing, you're like jumping into each other, and you're pushing people off of you as they jump into you, which throws them back into the crowd just standing there,
which is fine.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and I like being on that wall of the pit and like pushing people back in as they come around. And then of course what I've seen a lot more lately is the circle pit, run in a circle.
Yeah.
And like it's like I never liked PE in high school. I don't like running.
It was almost the same thing. Like you're running around the gym.
Yeah, you have
a 2 minute mile or 2 minutes.
200 laps and it's 1 mile. Let's go.
Yeah.
And it's like, in that you're not really like bouncing into each other either. Just everybody's running in the same direction.
Yeah.
But I really like the second pit I talked about where it is, I'm going to jump into you and push you and you're going to push me. And then as you push me, here's somebody off to my left who's going to fucking push me this way. and then I'm gonna fall to the ground, and 12 people are gonna help me
Yeah.
up. Like
Yeah.
that's the kind of pit I like.
Yeah.
And I don't go into them, but I stand on the edge and I really like that.
You should go in one time.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna break a bone, and I've never broken a bone, and knock on wood.
You're gonna keep that.
I don't want to. That's like one of my biggest fears for some reason.
It hurts.
It's gonna hurt. Yes, that's my fear. Anyway, yeah, the crowd was super fucking into this, and it was awesome. I did enjoy the vibe of the crowd.
Yeah.
I thought the band put on an amazing performance. I thought they came out with so much fucking energy.
Yeah.
And left it all on the fucking stage. That was awesome.
Yeah.
It's just the music for me for some reason wasn't hitting for me.
Oh, okay. Okay. Like as soon as they got done, I started looking to see where they were because I wanted to see them again. They are with Trivium right now. I think they were going to be in.
Oh shit, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, they were going to be in like East Moline maybe yesterday, like this weekend.
Oh, was it this weekend?
Yeah. And I was like, oh, could we go? But then I was like,
yeah.
We have a lot going on, and driving there to see them again. But seeing them and Trivium in the same night would be fucking awesome.
That would be, yeah. I love Trivium. I want to see them again. I would definitely go to that show. I'd definitely see them.
So you would see them again if they were with somebody else that you want to see.
I mean, if they're headlining, you're going to want to go. So I'll tag
we'll
along.
This was almost a headlining show, though.
It was 13 tracks.
Yeah, like just without the encore. I mean, if you think about it that way. Like
I took the last riff as an encore because they all did sort of go off the stage.
No, they did.
And then went dark for a little bit.
What I'm saying is
an official encore.
Like a set list with an encore. So like 17, 18 songs. That's what I'm saying. I'm sorry. Not like, I'm sorry.
No, you're all good. I know what you're saying now. Okay. Sorry. No, I think they treated the last riff as an encore, but it wasn't like a normal headlining length where, like you said, the 16 songs.
Yeah, that's what I was meaning by.
But I mean, still, 13 fucking songs they played a long time.
Yeah, which again could be because
Falling in
Reverse wasn't there, so each set may have gotten longer or more time. Because otherwise, I mean, if they started at, I think it was supposed to start at 6. It might have been almost the same though, because
maybe
if they started at maybe this is what they were.
Maybe, but also like they did move the time back. I do remember that.
Yeah,
it did go back an hour.
But that could have just been Falling in Reverse's hour.
It could have been, yes. But I mean, yeah, maybe.
Oh, but everybody would have been probably cut by 15 minutes or 10 or 15 minutes so that they could do set changes.
Set changes as well, right?
Yeah. So they might have gotten a couple extra songs in.
But I mean, so we were talking about that too, where the band fell off, they didn't get replaced, and there's no like sort of partial refund or anything in your ticket price.
It is kind of weird that they weren't replaced, right? Because I mean, this is a fest, so it's not like a headlining show or like a tour show. So you would think that maybe the radio station, and maybe it was too short notice.
It could have been too short notice.
But there's a lot of bands touring right now. Like you could have possibly found somebody who was in the area and be like, "Hey, Wage War, do you want to come play?"
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know. I don't know how that works.
But maybe that is what sort of the compromise is. All right, well, we can't find somebody to replace them. We'll give the other bands more time.
Yeah, so you still get a full show.
You still get the fourth. Yeah, exactly. You're still getting your money's worth at that point.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if otherwise you're cutting off like 8 of these songs probably, right?
I would say 5 of the songs.
5?
Yeah.
So you play an 8-track? Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Thereabout.
Like Dorothy probably would have played like 5 or 5.
Oh, this was the second band, so this band would have probably only got about 6 to 7 songs.
Oh, that's true.
I think.
That's true.
Dorothy probably only got 4 at that point.
Yeah.
So I mean,
but I mean, thinking about it, last year at Hog Fest we got 5 bands. This year we got 3 bands.
Yes.
And it was 2 hours shorter of a show.
But what time did it start last year? Did it start a
5
lot
o'clock.
earlier?
I
feel like it started
6 o'clock.
earlier. Yeah.
Probably 6 o'clock.
So this one started at 7, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, an hour early.
Yeah.
That gives you your time for those 2 other bands to come on and play their few songs.
Yeah. Yeah, because I remember Wage War only played like 5 songs last year. So.
Yeah. But I mean, like I said, all in all, even though the music didn't hit for me, everything else hit. Like, the crowd was fucking awesome.
See, and I didn't notice that the music wasn't your thing. I thought you were
I was enjoying it for sure. I was like, the energy they brought was enough for me to overcome.
Okay.
The music was fine, right?
Yeah.
But their energy was enough for me. Like, all right, I'll get into it. I'll
Okay.
enjoy the performance.
Yeah.
I'm gonna enjoy the show. I really did. But it's one of those things I'm not gonna seek out the music
Oh,
afterwards.
okay. I get what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, anything else you were definitely more into this than I was. Anything else you want to say?
No,
about
no.
their set?
I mean, wish we could have went and saw them again. But
Yeah.
next time they come to Chicago, we'll.
Are you following
them.
them on Bands in Town?
No.
We should follow them on that, and then we can get alerted when they're in town.
Okay.
So yeah, definitely we'll keep an eye out for them.
Yeah, we'll go. I'll go see them again. We'll go see because I don't go to concerts by myself.
Yep. But the main reason we're here for Hog Fest is Disturbed.
Yes.
Like we said, last year was Godsmack.
Yep.
Great show.
Yeah.
I really had a lot of fun last year at Hog Fest. And every time they came out, like we said, the radio personalities in between sets would ask, like, who was here for the first Hog Fest? Who's this? Is this their first? Who is this their second? You know, type stuff like that. And I think we mentioned this before. Like, we're gonna try to go to this every year because so far it's been good.
Yeah. Yeah. And Disturbed announced this before they announced their tour. So at the time we were like, yeah, we're gonna go to Hog Fest again because Hog Fest. I keep saying Hogs.
Yeah,
Fest.
same.
Like we're gonna go again because Disturbed's there, so we're gonna go see them.
And we talked about ticket price being like $75. Like, what the fuck? But really, that's not bad.
No.
That's pretty good for what we got.
Yeah.
We might see Disturbed later this year, and the price we paid for those tickets are a lot more, and it's like,
yeah.
what in
At
the
a venue that we
fuck?
don't like.
Yeah. So I mean,
yeah. I think it was a good. I mean, I think we got our money's worth.
I do too.
Yeah.
And last year was great too. I can't wait to see what they bring back next year.
Yeah.
But let's just talk about Disturbed. Came out, they did the white curtain drop, nothing on it. I really like this opening.
Okay.
And
it's one of their better openings that we've ever seen.
Oh yeah?
I think. I don't know. I thought it was one of the better ones.
I think Anthrax did this year as well, where a white curtain drops.
Yeah.
They played a little video.
They
for
played
their
a video
40th
on it, yeah.
With all of these other bands and
Yeah.
celebrities being like, Anthrax has been a huge part of our lives,
Yeah.
blah, 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 just to celebrate their birthday.
Yeah.
And then the white curtain or it was on the white curtain, but then there's like spotlights behind them, so you see the silhouette of each member.
Yeah.
Same thing happened here, where it was, boom, 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 and it's like going in between everyone, and then eventually it just drops, and we go straight into Hey You.
Yeah. I guess I thought of this more of when we saw Lamb of God during Memento Mori, where there's just a spotlight and you see Randy.
Is that what? I don't remember that.
Yeah, when we were at Aragon.
Oh, I thought it was their logo and you didn't see Randy at all.
No, you could see Randy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it was like he would be moving a little bit and stuff. Yeah, it was pretty cool. But yeah, unfortunately I saw, because they've played 3 shows before this on their tour in Canada.
Okay.
So I'd seen how it started, because I mean, when you follow fan pages and them and everything on Instagram and Facebook and stuff, you can get spoilers.
Yeah.
So I knew that that's how they were coming
Have they
out.
had another show since this?
Yeah, they've played Minneapolis.
Did you see a poster for Minneapolis?
No, they didn't have a poster for
They didn't for that?
No.
So in Canada, for each show, they had unique show posters.
Yeah. But Minneapolis was a fest like
was
this.
it another radio?
A radio station fest. So then their tour, their actual tour, starts next, or maybe tonight or tomorrow night.
Okay.
Again. Like where they're doing headlining shows.
Yeah, I love when bands do posters. Disturbed, we have a Disturbed poster from their last Evolution tour. It's just a tour poster, but I love that. I also love unique show posters or city posters. I really enjoy that because it's a unique souvenir for the city you went to. It's different from every other one. And Disturbed started doing this in Canada, and I was so excited. And we talked about before, like, are they going to do one for Hog Fest or not?
And I didn't think they would.
I kind of didn't, but I also hoped they would.
Because these two this show and then Minneapolis were not like, they were announced before their tour, and it's not them headline, like, because their tour is with Ginger and
Breaking Benjamin.
Breaking Benjamin, where this is with both of these shows were Beartooth and Dorothy. So it's different than their headlining show or their tour for the Take Back Your Life tour.
But I mean, even then, I was hoping like maybe Hog Fest put on like a unique poster.
That would have been cool.
I was like,
I think we said that last year too. Like,
did we?
they should have done a poster. Yeah.
I don't know. Posters are a thing I really like to collect and get. It's a fun little souvenir. Typically, that used to be the only thing I would buy. Now it's that and maybe a band shirt. And if I already have a band shirt, it's just the poster type thing.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's not much other merch I want.
Yeah.
But the posters I really fucking love to get. So disappointed they didn't have that this time around. But you said you were following the forums or the fan clubs and whatnot, and you saw that Hey You was going to be the first song.
Yeah.
What did you think of that as the first opening song? I mean, it's off their new album.
It is off their new album.
Single.
Yeah. Because when they did Evolution, they started with Are You Ready? Which I thought was very well put. And I think that would be very well to start every show.
Yeah. So it started with Hey You. Then we get Stupefied, 10,000 Fists, Prayer. Now we get Are You Ready? Then Bad Man, The Vengeful One, A Reason to Fight, Land of Confusion, The Game, Sound of Silence, Indestructible. That's their main set. Then we get into their encore, which is another 5 songs, which starts with The Light, Stricken, Unstoppable off their new album, Down with the Sickness, not as the closer.
Yep.
Which is special guest singer, we'll find out. And then Inside the Fire. They ended on Inside the Fire. I would imagine Down with the Sickness being the closer.
Yeah.
Inside the Fire to me doesn't have as much punch to it.
Right.
But it's kind of unique that they do that.
Yeah. That was another thing that I knew, that they did not end with Down with the Sickness. I didn't know where they put Down with the Sickness, but I was kind of wondering if they were going to end their
main set
with Down with the Sickness, and then I knew they ended with Inside the Fire. Now, when they did Evolution tour, they ended with Inside the Fire at the end of their main set, and then that's when they would put all the buckets out to catch the.
Oh, because they would have the things
fire
fall down.
Yeah, so it was like, it wasn't fabric, but like.
I think it was a fabric, like not a Kevlar, a canvas type.
Yeah, and then that would be on fire, and then that would drop into a bucket, and that's how they would end their main set. And then they would clear off the stage and then come back with the encore. So I don't know, maybe on their headlining shows, they actually do that fire thing at the end, but there was no pyro or anything.
There was no pyro during this at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah.
Which we've seen them at this venue before, and they had pyro.
Yeah. So it's definitely not like you can't have pyro thing.
Yeah. And maybe their show just doesn't have pyro this time
Maybe.
Yeah, you had told me that Down with the Sickness wasn't their closer based on what you had heard. And I don't like looking at the set list before going in because I like to be surprised. And when you told me that, I was like, what would be really fucking cool is if Down with the Sickness is what they came out to. Yeah. Like, you come out fucking swinging right away. And I love that. I do think the greatest opener of all time, and will be for as long as I can think of it, at least until a new one comes out, is Memento Mori.
Oh yeah, that's the best.
That is the greatest fucking song to open to, and like, it doesn't matter what band you are, if you're not opening to Memento Mori, you opened wrong. Like, in my opinion. You're Justin Bieber, you didn't open to Memento Mori, you fucked up. Your whole set's over now. Like,
imagine Justin Bieber
just get the fuck off the stage and give up. Same with Metallica. They're not opening to Memento Mori. They fucked up, but I'm going to stick around this time. Unlike Bieber, I'm not sticking, like...
SCA Gold's really good, too, but that's not their song, so that's...
No, but that's like your intro song, right?
Yeah.
Anywho, Hey You, I agree with you. I think if you don't come out to Down with the Sickness, I get why you don't do that. You save that to the end. Yeah. But at the same time, Are You Ready?
It's just perfect.
Is their Memento Mori to me. It's... Yeah. Are you ready? Like, if you're not ready, now's the time to fucking get ready.
And they could have done the same with the lights and everything that they did with Hey You, and just do Are You Ready? I mean... It's
got sort of a similar opening to it.
Yeah.
I agree. I think A Reason to Fight... sorry. Are You Ready is such a great fucking track to open to for them.
We did see them on their Evolution tour technically 4 times, because we saw the pre-Evolution...
The preview party for
the preview party. Yeah. So, I mean, 3 times on the tour. So, I mean, that's how we saw them in 2019, 3 times.
Yep.
And then I guess we did see them at a People.
Yeah, that wasn't part of that tour, though.
No. Oh, no, because that was last year.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's where they first played Hey You, or at least that's when we first saw it, and that was in the middle of their set.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stupefied's a great song. I love that off their first album. 10,000 Fists, again, a
Yeah,
great
I'm
song.
glad they played that because I was kind of knowing that they had a new album, like, what are they going to cut? And I really like 10,000. I mean, 10,000 Fists is the song that got me into Disturbed.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, so because we went to see him with El Nino.
Yeah.
I think 10,000 Fists came out like shortly after that or something. And so that's the first album that I had in my car. It's the song that got me into it.
Yeah, I thought that was great. Prayer, I was happy to see that.
I like that song.
It took me a very long time to like the Believe album. When that first came out, I was like, this is so much different than The Sickness. I don't like this.
Yeah.
And I didn't listen to it for a long time.
Yeah.
And then after like 5 or 6 years, I picked it back up again. And I was like, this is a really, really good fucking album. I really like this a lot. So I'm glad they hit that. And then, like I said, Are You Ready? That it was in there. That was awesome to see.
Yeah.
Other highlight.
They kind of went off for a second, and then they came back to Are You Ready, right?
I can't remember exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Bad Man is the next song.
Yep.
And they've all said on interviews and stuff that this is like their favorite song to play.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Out of any Disturbed song, I
Really?
guess. Yeah. That they really enjoy playing this, which I honestly am not that into Bad Man.
I'm not either, honestly.
I have tried to get into it, and I just can't yet.
I like it. Don't get me wrong. It's just, to me, it's not the strongest. Not the one I enjoy the most.
Yeah.
But I mean, if that's their song, like, fuck it. Go enjoy it. Go play it.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, I personally have not gotten into it.
Yeah. But maybe, like I was saying, like Prayer for me, or the Believe album.
Yeah.
Took me so long. Maybe this is one of those things that eventually you'll come around to and be like, oh shit, this is actually brilliant. I love this thing.
Well, I mean, because they played Hey You and Unstoppable as well. Like, between those two songs, I enjoy those way more than Bad Man.
Oh, I'm Bad Man over Unstoppable.
Oh, really?
For me, yeah.
I don't know.
Vengeful One, good song. A Reason to Fight is always an emotional aspect of their set. Is this when they bring a person out?
No, that's the light. That's it.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. So this time before A Reason to Fight, they did a little clip of David talking, and then I'm saying some words, but like basically like talking about mental health. And
I think they always do that.
No, they do. It was a different thing though. That's all I'm saying.
Gotcha.
It was different.
Gotcha.
Okay. So because last time they did during Evolution Tour they did a whole thing on because they did that and then Hold On to Memories kind of like together in a way.
And was Sound of Silence there too?
Yeah, they did all three of those.
It was like in the middle of the set, which this is basically in the middle of the set, where it's the slower bits to calm down a bit.
Yeah.
And they bring out the piano.
Yeah, but they split these up. They split both of these up.
Yep.
But this time, so it was at the end of the word thing, which was hard for us to see. We were on the floor, and it was above us, like on the projector, like
the
jumbotron thing that's on for basketball. But at the end of it was basically like, if you're struggling, the hotline, the 988 number or whatever. Sorry, I shouldn't say it that way, not the whatever. But
I do have a picture.
Do you have it? Yeah. So I think it's I think it talks about the suicide hotline, which is 988 now, because it used to be when they did the Evolution Tour, it was still that really long number that you had to do. Yeah, and now it's just it's like a 911 thing, but it's 988. It's the mental health line.
I've got a few. Let me find it.
You need a phone just for concert photos.
I need to I pull them off and put them on the hard drive.
That takes you so long.
It does. Here it is. Yeah, so it says, please join us in a moment of silence to pay respect to those we have lost. And then, the 988 suicide and crisis line, dial 988. The Lifeline provides 24/7 free and confidential support for people in distress, prevention, and crisis resources for you or your loved ones. We'll probably throw that up in the background when we do the podcast.
Yeah, we can do that. I think it's a good reminder too, just to that there's that new number, because I know that we have seen it a lot just because at concerts a lot of times they do talk about mental health, or at quite a few concerts that we go to, but I don't know how much it's widely known.
Yeah.
Not that our podcast makes it out that far.
Yeah, but still good to have out there. Yeah, and Disturbed is like one of the first bands I remember incorporating mental health awareness into their set. More and more bands are doing it now, which I think is awesome. But to me, Disturbed has always been like the first that I remember that's been sort of on the front lines of normalizing mental health and addiction.
I think it was shortly after they really got into it shortly after Chris Cornell and Chester. Mainly Chris Cornell, and then unfortunately Chester was a few months later.
It was a year later on his birthday, or it was on his birthday.
Yeah,
right?
but I don't think it was a complete year. But anyways, they really got into the mental health space. I mean, but it's a big thing that a lot of musicians, I think, have written about in their lyrics and played towards, but actually talking about at their show.
Yeah.
From what we've seen, Disturbed was one of the first. Now, when we saw Shine Down the weekend before, they said that they've been doing it for 20 years, but we haven't seen a Shine Down show.
Yeah, that's true.
So, but also, I remember the first one was Disturbed with 3 Days Grace at Allstate Arena was the first time that I remember seeing it, and it was like 3 Days Grace. That's when I realized that their songs were a lot about mental health, and then Disturbed.
Yep.
A lot of their songs are as well.
So that would have been 2018.
2019. Yeah.
2019.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because 2018 the album came out, and then 2019 is when they did their tour.
Yeah, so Chester passed away in July
2017,
yep. And Chris in May of 2017.
Oh, I didn't realize it was that close.
So it was
See, I thought
close.
it was like 5 months or 6 months, but
pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I do remember watching it and David getting very emotional.
Yes.
During A Reason to Fight, and bringing up Chris and Chester, and I can't remember who else he brought up, but there's another individual.
Yeah, there's somebody else that he brought up.
And then made a confession of his own, being like, a few months ago I was really close. I've been struggling a lot lately, type stuff. So it was a very emotional moment for sure.
I don't know, that song always gets me. That one, and then during the Evolution tour is A Reason to Fight, Hold On to Memories, and The Light.
Yeah,
are always the ones that get me.
A Reason to Fight, I really love that song.
Yeah.
And when they play that, they usually do, or at least they did when we saw it, a slideshow of everybody that they've lost.
That was Hold On to Memories.
Sorry, Hold On to Memories. My bad. Sorry.
Yeah, which they didn't play at the show.
Yeah. But Hold On to Memories, where they do the slideshow of everybody they've lost.
But it's not just it's not people that they've lost. It's all the memories of the band members.
Yeah. That's true.
And then part of it is they have like Chester in there. I think they have Vinny in there.
Yep.
Gosh, I should know more of them because we saw it 3 times. But they have a whole bunch of memories in there. It's not just people that's lost.
But it's all sort of melded in together, and it's like I said, it's an emotional time in the show. I don't want to say a fun time in the show, but it's an enjoyable. I enjoy seeing that. I enjoy what they're doing and how they're presenting it. I think it's a really good way that they do it, especially that part where it's like, if you know anybody, if you are being, what is it? It's if you struggle with mental health and addiction, or know somebody or have been affected by it, raise your hand, and like almost every fucking person's hand goes up, and it's like the whole point is like, see, you're not alone. You don't have to go through this alone. Reach out. Like it's fine to reach out. It's fine not to not be like. There's an organization out there. It's okay to not be okay.
Is that the organization?
I think so, or at least that's like their catchphrase or something.
Saying,
or they're saying, and like it's 100% true. Like, throw your hand up, look around. Like, everybody here is not okay, and it's okay. Like you are normal to not be normal. So like that's the norm. Like the people who are normal are fucked up somehow.
I don't understand it. Like when people say I don't get depressed or I don't have anxiety or whatever, I'm like, what's that like?
Yeah. Not a fun time in the show, but I enjoy this part of
You
the show a
enjoy
lot.
the message that comes across.
I enjoy the message. I enjoy the music. Everything that's happening, I enjoy. It's awesome. And then to lighten moods up, they go into Land of Confusion.
It was really hard for me to get into Land of Confusion because of the emotion from...
You were still kind of down. It's like, I'm not ready to get back into this.
Yes. I'm used to Land of Confusion, A Reason to Fight, Hold On to Memories, and Sound of Silence all at once. So you get all your crying done, and then you can get back into the music.
Yeah.
Where this was like, it was like they took the stools off the stage and Land of Confusion now.
Which, the first time we saw them, I think, at Allstate Arena in 2019, you said it was, we noticed, because they came back to the back of the audience, and we were back there.
Yeah.
And we're like, we have those exact same stools in our house. You got those from Target.
Yeah. They're just like, I mean, maybe they're not Target, but they're the same style.
Like $30 each. We bought those too.
Yeah.
I think they're the exact same ones.
They
and they've had them for all these years. Yeah, and you know it's going to be Sound of Silence because they bring out not only the piano, but also the drums.
Yeah.
And the chairs for the strings. And I can't remember exactly what year it was, but Mike's daughter joins them for the strings.
Yeah.
Do you remember if that was
2019?
Was it 2019?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I know she's been doing it for a while now.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool, right?
It is really cool.
Tag along.
Yeah.
But then the band slowly comes out. They start playing Sound of Silence.
Do you know what? Now that you say that, it might have just been last year that his daughter has joined.
I thought so.
I can't remember. Yeah, when we saw him at Summerfest, I think was the first time.
I think so.
Yeah.
But
I wonder if she always is, or if it's only when they're around Chicago.
Maybe it's only when they're around. I don't know. That might be.
Oh, yeah. It'll be interesting if we ever saw them
elsewhere
away from Chicago.
And then joining Dan on drums is his. Joining Dan on guitar is his guitar tech as well.
Jeremy. Yeah.
Jeremy, and he's been
doing
forever.
It forever. Yeah, he's been doing it forever.
So it's awesome to bring them out for an extra bit as well.
I remember hearing in 2019 when they said that this is Dan's I don't want to say lifelong, but long guitar been with the band for a long time, and which is really cool because a lot of bands don't really bring to light that they have all this crew with them. Some bands do. Some bands say give it up for the crew, give it up for.
I do feel like that's a big thing a lot of bands do is give it up for the crew.
Yeah.
But there are you're saying there's certain members who have been here a very long time and are they're all special to the band. They all have I was gonna say, they're all special to the band. All the crew is they're there for the crew is they wouldn't be there without the crew.
Yeah.
But yeah, they definitely have a good relationship with Jeremy, right?
Yeah, Jeremy. Obviously Jeremy is very talented, so to give him his time on the stage as well to show his talent is amazing.
Mike also did not come out on the stage right away. He kind of comes out and lingers back in when it's about time to play his bit.
I mean, otherwise, what do you do? Just stand out there?
I don't know if you saw this, but when he comes out, he goes over to his daughter and is whispering something in her ear or saying something to her or doing something. No. And then he goes back and plays a little bit, and then he goes back over to his daughter and fucks around with her a little bit. And it made me smile and think, because we talked about with Kimmis and the Notre Dad and the parents. And how I thought that was so adorable for the parents just film their daughter and whatnot. This is such a dad fucking thing to do of you're on the stage, I'm going to try to embarrass you. I'm going to come over here and talk to you. I'm going to make you mess up.
Yeah.
That's how I took what was going on. As he was just fucking around with her. Don't mess up, don't mess up, don't mess up. Make sure you hit that note. Got to do that. I don't know what he was saying. Maybe it was all encouragement and stuff, but that's how I took it as a fun, playful back and forth with the daughter. I don't get to do this all the time, and maybe she doesn't come on this come on tour with them. Maybe it only is when they're around Chicago.
Yeah.
But I thought that was hilarious. He went back a couple times and did it.
Oh, okay. I didn't notice that. No.
And then she gets off stage. She leaves. They don't say anything about it until later in the evening. They're like, "Oh, and also give it up for Mike's daughter, who is here with us again." Because I think last year for Summerfest they tried to get her to come back on stage and take a bow or something.
Oh,
I don't think she did.
No, she didn't.
No, And this time around, when I thought he was trying to like fuck around with her and like make her mess up or something, the only thing I can think of is she's sitting there like, Dad, I'm trying to make a paycheck. Leave me alone at work. Like that, in my mind, that's the narrative I'm making up. It made me smile. But then they, in their set, as we said, on Indestructible, come out to the light, and this is where they bring out a couple people.
Yes.
Typically, I've only seen them bring out one person.
Right. This time there's two.
Yeah, they brought two individuals out.
So I think it was Mac.
I can't remember, honestly, their names.
The first one. Pete was the second one.
Yeah. Mac. Yeah, I think it was Mac.
So Mac had a cancer. Now I can't think of what kind of cancer. But they used Disturbed to get through it, and then Disturbed sent them like a Christmas video.
Through like Hog Fest, they got, or through the Hog, they got in touch with David and the band, and I think they sent out like a Christmas greeting to them, and it was like, oh, this was fucking awesome. Thank you so much. And
then Pete had pancreatic, which I'm assuming pancreatic cancer.
I assume so. He said he'd been struggling with it for a while. It's been hard, but Disturbed's been there to help, and he was definitely emotional and didn't want to say a whole lot, and then like the whole crowd just started chanting Pete, which was
it's fun. Cool that just when Disturbed does the light, because they do in every month they do a Fighter of the Month, which showcases somebody who's went through something or is having a health thing, or drug addiction or
mental health or addiction or just health in general.
Yeah. So
mental health is health. So just any health related issues. And
anything, sobriety, anything.
Yep.
And so they always showcase one of somebody every single month. They've done that since 2019, I think, or 2018 maybe. And then also during the Evolution tour, they always had one person come up. They would read a letter that I'm assuming it's a letter that they either somebody wrote about them or they wrote themselves to Disturbed, saying like why this person deserves to be recognized or whatever. I don't know how to say it in a way, like, because it's not like they deserve to be recognized because they have an illness. But
I don't think it's like I deserve to be recognized. I think it's more of, you've helped me through this struggle. Yeah,
that's a good way to say it.
Thank you for what you do.
Yeah, that's a good way to say it. Thank you for putting the words better than I did.
Exactly. Not exactly I put it better, but no, like
exactly. I talk better than you do.
No, but just reaching out to the band saying, hey, I've been struggling and you helped me get through my struggles.
Yes, yeah.
Thank you so much just for being you and doing what you do.
And then
which we've talked about when we meet bands. Like, we've seen a few selling merch that we like. Cultist Black was one we walked by, and we just sort of like nod and walk by without saying anything. The only thing we need to say is thank you.
Yeah.
Like, thank you for doing this. What you guys are doing is awesome.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just entertainment. The music is so much more than just entertainment.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And thank you for it. And it's a deeply emotional, like, you have to expose yourself so much when you write music too, right? Like, so thank you for exposing yourself and making, I don't know, just
Yeah. And then during the light, the person that comes on stage, or this time the two people that come on stage, sit back on Mike's drum stand thing and listen to the entire light song from the stage, basically. So it's really cool. It's good that they shed a light on struggles that people are having. Again, kind of going back to the reason to fight, you're not alone. People struggle. That whole thing.
Yeah, and this is like one of your favorite songs.
It is my favorite song, yeah.
You tell yourself you wouldn't get a tattoo, but if you would,
I would get
one
the
of them
lyrics.
would be Darkness Can Show You the Light.
Yeah, sometimes darkness could show you the light.
And another part of the song is when David sings The Light, the audience is supposed to turn their phones on or lighters and flash the lights back and forth.
Ask for audience participation.
But
I don't do it.
You don't do it.
I never have done it.
Why? I don't get that.
Because I don't want to think like I have to hold up my cell phone. I just want to enjoy the song.
Okay.
It's not anything against the song or like people holding up their cell phone or the lighter or whatever to show the light. It's honestly, I want to listen to the song. I want to feel the song. I don't want to think about, I need to do something now. I just want to listen to it.
Gotcha. Okay. That's fair.
I can't believe you never noticed that I've never done it.
I haven't, no.
Yeah.
I mean, typically I don't do it either. I've started to do it, but I'll record video while I do it.
Yeah. Oh, I see.
To see, I've never tried this to see what it's like. So if I do, and I haven't watched the videos of this yet. I've done like 2 or 3 times now. But when I do turn my light on when bands ask for it, I will. But now I'm also recording as I like wave my hand back and forth, just to see what it looks like. So
I see.
I do want to. I think it's a really cool thing to look out and see all of the lights, like the little firefly type effects of across the crowd. I think that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
They moved on to Stricken, then Unstoppable, and Down with the Sickness. Down with the Sickness started with David coming out and was like, "You're a brave man. You've been holding up this sign on your phone that says, 'Can I sing a song with you?'
Yeah.
What do you know?" The guy's like, "I know everything." He's like, "All right, get up here." Brings him around the stage. They start going into Sickness, and they give him a mic. He's like, "Oh, I know this one." Comes out. This guy's from South Side of Chicago. And I'm worried. This is either going to be amazing, or this guy's going to fucking suck, and he's going to ruin the night now. Like, an amazing concert is now just going to be ruined by this guy who gets up there and like has nerve, like, I can't move, I'm stuck, I'm not going to be able to sing, he's just going to stand there on stage, or he's going to try singing and it's going to be horrible. But no, he came out and he fucking killed it.
I want to know who he is.
He had a really good stage presence.
Yes.
He was bouncing back and forth, singing with all the members.
Yeah. I feel like it was put on.
I do too. I don't think you just do this.
Yeah.
Like I said, if this fails, you not only you ruin the night for the entire crowd.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I do think this is put on. You know this. You vet this guy. You know. All right. Maybe it's through a meet and greet. Maybe it's through something like that. And maybe it's like.
That's true. Maybe they did the whole thing beforehand or whatever. And also, I mean, Disturbed's from Chicago. Maybe they know who this person is. I don't know. I don't know who the person was.
I can't remember either.
So I was trying to look up because they had a From Ashes to New shirt on. So I was like, is this somebody from the band? I'm like, no, we just saw the band. That's not somebody that was in the band.
Yeah.
So I was like, I was just really trying to figure out who it was. But I couldn't figure it out. So.
But they killed it. They were fucking awesome.
Yeah. Like front man of a show.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah.
And like, throughout the song, give it up for Disturbed, give it up for the crowd. Like,
yeah.
Good front person, sure. If they, I bet they're in a band. I bet they're the front person, and they probably fucking kill at that role.
Yeah.
That's awesome to see. And then, of course, they ended with Inside the Fire.
Yes. Yeah.
All in all, an amazing show. I really loved it.
I honestly really liked it. I was not... Normally when I see Disturbed shows, I'm like, oh my God, it's Disturbed. I like think about it all the time. And this was just like going to a show.
Yeah. So this was your favorite band for the longest time. And I think I asked you that while we were waiting. Like, are you excited? And you're like, eh. I was like, what the fuck do you mean? Eh. This is your Metallica. Like, Metallica is my Metallica. Disturbed is,
Yeah. I don't know. It's just, we've seen a lot of Disturbed shows. I was excited, but I wasn't like I used to be, where I was like, oh my God. Like when we went to see them in Milwaukee, and it was the last show of their tour. We took the train up there.
Milwaukee.
As
David points out from Wayne's World. I love when he does that all the time. Yeah. And it makes me smile too, because it reminds me of Archer. Because Archer talks about lacrosse, and he's like, it's Algonquin for blood sport. And then there's a guy on there, Noah. He's like, it's not Algonquin for anything. But it's the same thing with Wayne's World. It's Milwaukee. It's Algonquin for the good land, or whatever it is. Yeah.
But like when we took the train up to see Disturbed the last time we saw them in Milwaukee. Now I can't say Milwaukee.
Because it's Milwaukee.
I was super excited. I was so like, I think
that was for Summers Fest last year, right?
No, it was not the we drove that time, but when we took the train back in 2019.
2019 for the Evolution tour. Yeah. Basically the same show we had already seen.
Yes. Like I think maybe the day before in Cedar Rapids. I can't remember.
I think so.
Or 2 days before. Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, it's a great show. Even my aunt asked the next day, like, oh, I didn't know you went to see Disturbed last night. Was it amazing? And I was like, it was Disturbed. Like,
that's the thing. I really enjoyed the show. I thought it was great. but it is a Disturbed
Yeah.
show. And that's not knocking it in any
No,
bad way
no.
whatsoever. I think I talked about this when seeing Lamb of God. Like, we saw them headlining last year, and then we saw them opening last year, and it was the same fucking show.
The same energy of the show.
Same energy they brought, and the same thing with Disturbed. And then I was saying with like Lamb of God, it's like they could play like a kiosk or like a little just
a park.
go to a park and play in a park, and they're gonna bring the same fucking energy.
Yeah.
Same with Disturbed. You go to see them, you're gonna get the same show that you got last time you saw them, but it's gonna be a fucking amazing show.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I realized this last year when we saw them at Summerfest. I'm like, oh, this is a Disturbed show.
Yeah.
Like, it's. I don't want to sound like I'm being negative, but it's a Disturbed show. It's the same show.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a great show.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a fun time during every single song. I sing along to every single song.
We've seen it before. We'll see it again.
We will. Yeah.
Right. We'll see it every chance we can see it because we enjoy it that much.
Yeah. It's just not like going to see a Rammstein, or even for me going to see Metallica. I get super excited for Metallica still. I'm saying still, like, but there's other shows that I am more excited for this month than I was for Disturbed.
And yeah, I get that too, because I mean, like we said, we've seen this before.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that we're seeing now that we haven't seen before.
Yeah.
And we're excited to see the new stuff.
Yeah.
But the old stuff that we've already seen, it's still fun to see.
Oh yeah,
and this was a blast.
And we're going to another show on their tour. Next year, if they tour again, we're gonna see another show on their tour. Like, it's not gonna end. So
Yeah, for sure.
But year 2 at Hog Fest.
Overall, I think I enjoyed year 1.
I did
better.
too. Yeah.
Year 2 was just as good.
Yeah.
Just as good, but I still enjoyed year 1
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
more.
I'm excited to see if they do it next year.
I hope they do. I had a lot of fun. I want to keep going.
I wonder if the turnout would be different if it was on a Friday or Saturday again.
Because last year was a Friday, right?
Last year was on a Friday, the same week, but on a Friday. So it was May 6th last year.
And this one felt a little less.
Yeah. Yeah. I even looked around at the crowd, and the crowd was less. I mean, it wasn't as full as I felt like it was last year. So yeah, we'll have to see what year 3 brings, because I hope that they do it again.
Yeah, I do too. I'd be interested in who the headliner is
Yeah.
this time around.
Yeah, it'd be kind of fun to see who's coming or who they get.
Yeah. I don't know. It's going to be fun. May of next year, so it should be a good time.
First week of May.
Yeah.
See you there.
All right. See ya.